WUSA 9 breaking news now.
Major breaking news tonight. Shots fired at the White House Correspondents Dinner where President Trump was in attendance for the very first time. At around 8 p.m., the evening was just getting underway. Opening remarks had just been had and dinner was being served when shots were fired. 2 hours later, the president addressed the nation from the White House press briefing room.
This was an event dedicated to freedom of speech that was supposed to bring together members of both parties with members of the press. And in a certain way it did. But I said very importantly that we'll do it again within the next 30 days, and we'll make it bigger and better and even nicer.
Thanks for joining us on the news at 11. I'm Larry Miller. Lots going on tonight. The details still coming in. At around 8:30 tonight, while journalists were gathering to celebrate freedom of the press, a gunman opened fire in the lobby of the Washington Hilton. Thankfully, no one was injured. And we're going to play that video yet again for you, showing you the moments when those shots were in fact heard and the president was rushed off the stage. And then the president, just 30 minutes ago, posted this video showing security camera video of the alleged gunman that we now know is 31-year-old Cole Allen of Torrance, California. That's according to CBS News, running past security. The video is blurry, but you can see Secret Service quickly taking that man down. President Trump also posted these pictures showing the alleged gunman as you see him here on the floor. The president said again during the presser, this is 31-year-old Cole Allen from Torrance, California. Now, despite all of this, the president of the White House Correspondents Association, Wee Jiang, re-emphasized the importance of journalism, especially in times of chaos and crisis.
I said earlier tonight that journalism is a public service because when there is an emergency, we run to the crisis, not away from it. And on a night when we are thinking about the freedoms in the First Amendment, we must also think about how fragile they are. I saw all of you reporting, and that's what we do.
Our Alexis Wainwright is live in front of the Washington Hilton. Security remains high, no doubt, as this investigation continues tonight. Alexis, we also know that the president said that D.C. police will be taking over this investigation. We heard from D.C. police about this investigation. What are they telling us?
Well, Larry, we heard a lot from D.C. police, but also Mayor Muriel Bowser talking about this situation. Now, we heard that this is an isolated incident when it comes to the shooting that happened here inside the Hilton Hotel. We asked several questions about other events that we know typically happen the same night of this dinner and other people going to other parties and things of that nature. They say that they believe that the suspect is the only person associated with this shooting and with this case. And again, it is an isolated incident. But I do want to show you a little bit really quickly of what we're also seeing in the scene that we've been seeing all night outside of the hotel as well. Several different law enforcement agencies out here, mainly D.C. police, also Secret Service, the FBI. These are all agencies that are a part of this investigation that is actively happening. Now, if you can come back to our shot, I do want to show you just what we're also seeing here inside the hotel where the incident happened. I'm going to move out of the way so you can kind of see the heavy police presence still here inside the hotel. Secret Service also still here in the building. We've seen yellow tape. We've seen them kind of cornering off different parts of the hotel as this investigation continues. Now, we did also hear some accounts from witnesses, people who were inside the room and also inside the hotel when that shooting happened. I want to go to that sound so you can hear how closely their accounts are compared to what we heard from D.C. officials.
It felt to me like somebody dropped a glass or something, like it was sort of like a loud bang. Didn't really think that much of it. And then I heard pop, 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 which I figured to be gunshots.
I heard what sounded like bangs. I don't know if they were gunshots or not. Everybody hit the floor. It was very frightening. How could somebody get in there and try to cause harm when we know the president's going to be there and the vice president's going to be there?
One of the ladies I mentioned, who was of the security services, said that she had seen it happen, that she saw somebody push past security, somebody had had a shotgun, and that's why it was so loud.
So again, you can even hear it in their voices as they're talking to us and sharing those frantic moments when they were here inside the hotel. Now, we also want to bring in WUSA's 9's own Matt Gregory, who was also here inside. Just tell me what you heard, what you saw.
Well, so there are 3 levels here, right? So we're on the bottom level here, which is where the ballroom is. There's one above us and then one above that, which is where I was. And I didn't hear much. I mean, I heard some commotion, but it's a hotel. At some point, we saw everyone kind of running the doors, a mild, chaotic event. It looked like everyone was leaving, and then the police were coming in, and you see FBI coming in, you see Secret Service coming in. But I did run into Congressman Jamie Raskin from Maryland. I said, Congressman, you were in the room. What did you see? And I think we have a clip to show you of him and his kind of reaction to what was going on. This was me speaking to Congressman Jamie Raskin from Maryland real quick.
All right, Congressman Raskin, just tell me what you heard, what was going on tonight.
Well, I had just arrived a few moments before. I was going to meet the people from NBC. They had invited me to be their guest. I was headed to their table. Some people from the Boston Globe were there and got up to greet me and say hello. And their guest was an old friend, Kerry Kennedy. So I was just talking to them, and then all of a sudden I heard just a huge ruckus and a huge noise. And I heard people start to say, "Get down," and someone threw me to the ground, and it was a Secret Service agent, and I landed on top of some other people. And then we were on the ground for maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then people began to get up, and then the word just began to spread that there had been someone who tried to enter the room who had been shot by the Secret Service, and that when people heard the shots, that's when everybody started screaming to get down, and the Secret Service started, throwing people to the ground.
In the most human way possible, I have to ask you, how do you feel right now?
A little shaken, but of course I went through January 6th, and that went on for 3 or 4 hours, and this was over in a couple of minutes. But obviously we're concerned for everybody's safety, and there were a lot of political people in the room, so they're saying it's going to keep going on, but I think I'm headed home back to Maryland. Everybody's safe and sound tonight, I hope.
That's all I got for you. Thank you.
So another thing that I've kind of noticed in the last, I would say, and we were watching this together, Alexis, 5 or 10 minutes, I see someone coming out with what, from my experience as a reporter, is an evidence box for what looks like a pistol. Now, we do know from hearing from the mayor and interim chief of MPD, Jeff Carroll, that the suspect was found with a shotgun, a pistol, as well as several knives. Now, I don't know if in that evidence box was the gun, but this is one of the things we had here from folks you spoke to, folks that I spoke to. They heard either multiple gunshots or a clattering of sound, and it has been an evening where many folks here are on edge. I mean, as you would expect. But the thing that I'm really starting to notice about, as you're seeing FBI, torrents of FBI agents coming through, Secret Service, obviously MPD is kind of the lead agency here, but you're seeing it's what you would expect a national response to be if the president is at a place where a shooting has taken place. And I don't know how much we've been able to kind of communicate with the mayor said, but the mayor said obviously the investigation continues. I asked U.S. Attorney Pirro, I said, based on what's happening, what you saw, are there terrorism charges facing? She says we'll have to evaluate what's happening. So obviously nothing there, but it looks like at this point, everything is under control. However, we do have that one Secret Service agent who's in the hospital. They say it's minor injuries, but obviously we have to monitor that. What does that mean? And the suspect himself, the president's already tweeted a picture of him, and he's been taken to a hospital as well. So that's what we're seeing on the ground floor here. You can see as we go, DEA, FBI are all walking through this whole area. We seem to be, Alexis and I, right in the chute for everything that's happening. That's what we're seeing from this angle. But of course, we'll wait to see how the rest of this investigation plays out.
Sure. Thank you so much. So we appreciate it. So again, you're hearing first accounts from also Matt Gregory, who was here inside when all of this chaos broke through. So again, just to kind of tap off of what he said, we did hear in that press conference, Janine Pirro mentioned that the suspect will be arraigned and will be in court on Monday. He is facing multiple charges at this hour. There could be more charges in the future, and obviously we'll have to wait and see the condition of that Secret Service officer who was taken to the hospital. So again, we're sticking here right now. Obviously still a lot happening here in the hotel, multiple agencies moving through in and out as this investigation continues, and we'll update you as we learn more. But for now, reporting live inside the Washington Hilton Hotel, Alexis Wainwright. Larry, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Alexis, thank you so much. I think it's worth pointing out as well, as we heard from Acting Police Chief Jeffrey Carroll, that the perimeter, that the security perimeter worked as designed, which he said, was important, especially in this incident. So thank you for the update. Also, tell Matt we are happy that he is safe and sound as well. Alexis, thank you.